for our opening hymn, which is Let There Be Peace. It is number 3 in the Wings of Song, if you want to sing it from there, or you can find the words on the white card in Wings of Song. Keep going.
The opening prayer will be a Pawnee Native American song. Remember the sacredness of things, running streams and dwellings, the young within the nest, the hearth for the sacred fire, the holy flame of fire.
All right, and now we're going to sing hymn number 1 today, which is number 340, Joy in My Heart. Thank you, Carol. All right, thank you. All right, so today is the 31st of August. Today is the last day of August. Tomorrow we begin September. Woo! All right, so that's exciting news for me because September is my birthday month, just to let you know. Just kidding. Anyway, so today our speaker is Seth Currier, and his topic is the spirituality of nature, and he's going to probably tell us a little more about that in just a few minutes. So some other announcements that we have. Monday, Unity, is it meeting or not? It is meeting, okay. So it's at 6:30 on Monday night, tomorrow night here. Yep, and then also the book is?
Menus for Impulsive Living.
Menus for Impulsive Living, and there she has it right there if you want to take a look at that. So also, we have some upcoming events. Next Sunday is Robert Aho's first Sunday of the month meditation group. They will meet either up here in the meditation room or downstairs in the little room, depending on the number of the library room, depending on the number of people, because it's much easier up here with more people. So also on September 20th is Kimberly Grogan and Lisa Hubesh, I can't pronounce that right, and Teresa Inanucci, and they are putting on the Sacred Grove, a soul journey, a soul-centered journey. There are flyers downstairs, or did we leave some flyers downstairs? Okay, that you can take a look at this. This is something that's coming up. Yes?
Can I say something about this workshop?
Yes.
People, I read it strongly. After a while, I read the description, and it's 3 amazing practitioners. However, one is somebody who doesn't come to our church, Teresa. And people, she's a QHHT practitioner. And how many of you know what that is already? One person, me, also. Oh, okay, and of course, the mom does. The mom of Kimberly. Well, you can Google QHHT, and you can, I'll tell you, when I went to Teresa's website, who's the one who's not an attending member of this community, but certainly, the spiritual metaphysical community person, and I felt waves of kindness coming to me from her website. It was astonishing. And it's partly because my sensibilities of energy are growing by leaps and bounds right now. So maybe it's just because I'm more sensitive, I don't know. But I encourage you to look into it because it's a very big deal. I was craving QHHT for a while and never knew we had somebody here in our community of Duluth that is a practitioner. So check it out if you can, if you want to.
Also, in the future, we do have our chili cook-off, which Debbie is going to elaborate some things for us.
Good morning, everyone.
You can move it down, honey.
All right, so our chili cook-off is our fall fundraiser, and it is the last Saturday in October, so it's October 26th. And I put the posters downstairs. I have the registration forms if you want to enter the chili cook-off. And so you would just enter this information, give us the $10 non-refundable. You keep the top part, we keep the bottom part. And you can check, is it meatless, is it vegetarian, are you having meat? Or if there's another option I don't have, you can certainly put that down too. The judging will start at 5 o'clock, and then we'll eat all the wonderful chili by 5:30, and it'll be a great time. We're having entertainment also, and so we're excited about that too. And then I have a couple more announcements. I put a note downstairs. We love our kitchen angels. We just love that they take care of the food for us and take care of the kitchen and set the table. But I did put a note on the refrigerator that if you're working in the kitchen and there's any leftovers, please label and date it when you put it in the refrigerator. And I'm guilty of this because I took out that dill hummus, put it in the refrigerator, didn't cover it. My memory's not that great. I came a few days later and I'm like, what's this green stuff in the refrigerator? And I didn't know if it was really supposed to be green because it was old or, and so just kind of aside. And then downstairs on top of the piano, we are starting an heart altar. And so I'm one of those people that I look at stones, and if I see a stone that looks like a heart, I pick it up and I put it in my yard. And so, but the premise is sometimes we come in and we just need a heart, we just need a hug. Sometimes we come in and we're so excited, we can have a heart that we can put that energy into. And so I'm going to come around today. I have this little wooden heart, and I started by writing the word love on it. And then I'll just come to the different tables and pass it around. And if you just want to write one word or whatever, something pertaining to, compassion, whatever draws you to write. And I think that's all I have. Thanks.
Now, was it last week we had our board meeting? 2 weeks ago? I can't remember. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But while we were having our board meeting, there was a group of people meeting in the fellowship hall or community room, talking and talking and talking and talking. I think they stayed longer at their little meeting around the table than we did in the board meeting. So they came up with a little thing that they want to do, and it is to write down some questions to contemplate throughout the week. If you got the email, you might have seen I wrote the questions into the email so that you could contemplate them. And after lunch today, somebody will be facilitating the fact that we have these questions and what kind of answers that you came up with. And I'm going to read those very quickly for you here. The first question is, what is the difference between faith and belief? How do you apply both in our lives? All right, and the second question is, this one's really long. Are we God? Are we God? So those are the two questions. If you haven't already contemplated them, keep them in the back of your mind for later today, and we will read them again later. Also, we got the questions. It's that time of the year. Tomorrow is September. Our annual meeting is at the end of October. So now you're going to hear the spiel. It's membership time. If you haven't put money in the basket in one of those little envelopes like this that say, please put this towards my membership. And if you haven't become a member yet and would like to, this is the time to start thinking about becoming a member of our church. And it doesn't cost a thing unless you want it to. It can cost $1. It can cost $1 million, anywhere in between. Whatever you donate is your membership. So even people who are having financial difficulties can afford to be a member of our church. And again, we do have the envelopes. A lot of people can't pay like $100 all at once to be, if that's what they want to donate. So you can do it $5 at a time throughout the year, and it can be, you can put it towards your membership, or it could go for something else. A lot of people put money in envelopes for the foundation for the cushions, and we were very grateful for that because we did reach our goal. So that was very awesome. So just keep it in your mind. It's membership time. You're going to be hearing more about it every week now. Also, yeah.
What does membership give us?
It gives you the opportunity to vote at the annual meeting. It's not a big thing. Sometimes there aren't a whole lot of things to vote on, but when we do have things to vote on, it might be changes to the bylaws. It might be something that we want to incorporate in our service or something along those lines. There are a lot of things that the membership should have access to vote on. And so those are the things that would be in that. Also, we have the Board of Trustees. We do have at least 2 people whose terms are over right at the end of October. So we will need to get a vice president and at least 2 trustees, I believe. So, and we could also vote on other, if there's something else we need to vote on, you could always bring it up to any board member and we will have it on the agenda for that meeting.
I'd like to add,
Here's the thing, people, that I think membership is really about, because really and truly, the only thing is that we can vote. And like Sue said, it's usually not a big choice. But what it is a statement of community and of really of solidarity, of just, I'm standing with a community that's committed to being a metaphysical spiritual community in Duluth. It's energetic. And it doesn't matter how many other organizations or churches you're part of. I believe, this is just me, I believe it's great to be a member in that sense of contributing to this. Look, the sunflower got on the door. I love it. When you look at the front door now, you see the sunflower. We're standing in solidarity of giving our energetic support, even if we never come to the service. That's my story.
Absolutely. All right. Next week's speaker is going to be Reverend Yanchi Laxka. He is a priest who was ordained, but he is also interfaith. And just go to his website. His name is in our email for next week, and his bio will be up on our website starting next week. So make sure that you take a look at that. And Carol has a comment about Reverend Yanchi.
I'm astonished. I never have been doing this. But I'm where the trail started with. I think he's often called Yanchi, is our speaker. And it came from Jim Barrett, who was one of our speakers back a long time ago and was here in church just last week, I think. And Jim has attended many workshops with Yanchi at Scholastica. He's a really big deal guy. And so when you see his website, it really is cool. However, the background is that this was a trail that started over a year ago in the spring, with me tracking him. And I think he has a son in Duluth in college, and I think he lives outside of the cities.
No, he's in Hudson, Wisconsin.
There you go, yeah. And so he's a good one to show up for, according to me.
Yanchi,
I've heard about him too, and I want to hear it.
yeah. Well, Yanchi and I had about a half hour, 45-minute Zoom call together, and this guy just is amazing, so I can't wait. All right, anyway, so we talked enough. It's time to move on. It is time to talk about our principles. So on the card, there is a copy of the principles. So let's read them together. We believe God is the eternal source and creator of all and is present in everything. Our eternal soul, endowed with free will, grows through many lifetimes. Communication occurs between the physical and spiritual worlds. Prayer and meditation strengthen our connection to the divine. All healing comes from Source. Seeking this for ourselves and compassion for others' suffering is the highest priority. Because we are all one, what we do unto others, we do unto ourselves. The choice of love is always open for every soul. Living these principles leads us to grow in divine love. All right. Now, at this time, it is time to think about our healing. So at this time, can I request somebody to bring forward the healing bowl?
Does anyone have any healing that they would ask for anyone? Okay.
We'll get to- we'll-
Kathleen. Nope, we're gonna do, this is new, we're working this out. Come on up, Kathleen.
No, we're going to do the bowl first, aren't we?
No,
Oh.
we're gonna do it all, and then the bowl, and then.
Okay, prayers. You got to come up here and speak into the microphone, my dear.
You know how hard that is for me.
I know.
So I have four. First, prayers for Jennifer, who has a rare form of cancer in her brain and her spine. Prayers for Corinne with breast cancer. Prayers for neighbor Pat with leukemia. And who's the fourth one? Kathy, friend Kathy with brain tumor, non-cancerous, but we pray for it to dissolve and get smaller. Thanks.
Virginia, you want me to come to you with the microphone? Okay.
I'd like prayers, or I'd like to suggest that there might be some prayers and some healing as well for Bill, who is a major performer in New York and who has just found out he has multiple types of cancer. On his birthday, he found that out. So it's a happy birthday and a new 1 year for him if you're following numerology. So if you could please pass that on to him. Also, I have a friend in need who is having problems with her legs and being able to maintain help and continue with her family so that everything works in the house. And so she also needs not just help healing, but help with stamina and help with how can I say, the process of being available. So thank you very much. I appreciate very much your prayers.
And I would like to say that we send out healing thoughts and prayers for the families that were affected by the shooting in Minneapolis. And
Debbie, say it again.
that we send out blessings and prayers for the families and the children that were affected by the shooting in Minneapolis and the communities. Blessings on all of our teachers and our children, that we can keep them safe and that they know that they're loved because they are loved. So, thank you.
I have a request for prayers. You may notice that there are two people who usually sit right over there, and they are not here today. That is because Jerry Quacco was in the hospital Friday night with a very enlarged and painful appendix. He was supposed to have surgery Friday night. However, the overnight surgeon became overbooked. So he had his surgery yesterday morning, and they said it was quite enlarged and had a lot of nasty stuff going on in there. So obviously Jean is a total wreck, and let's pray for Jean so that she can make it through this. The surgery went well, and so that's good for Jerry and for Jean, but he is still going to be in the hospital for several days, and he is going to be in room 522 in the Millard Dwan section of the Essentia St. Mary's, whatever you want to call it, hospital complex. So it might be easier to find than other rooms. Yes, yes, Jean encourages visiting. So yeah, anytime. So yeah, you don't have to make an appointment. So are there any other prayers? Obviously, we have lots of prayers going out to so many different parts of the world right now, and so many, even close to home, like Minneapolis. Everybody needs our prayers, so everything that we can put into the prayers, let's do it. So at this time, I think it's time.
We ask the great unseen healing force.
Hold on.
We ask the great unseen healing force to remove all obstructions from our mind and body and to restore us to perfect health. I ask the great unseen healing force to help both present and absent ones who are in need of help. Thank you. Amen.
And now we'll sing hymn number 74 in Wings of Song, In the Silence.
I'm going to guide us in a short meditation. You can feel free to just follow along, or you can just sit in silence, or whatever feels best for you and your body. If you'd like, you could close your eyes or take a soft gaze. And just take a few moments to feel yourself connecting with the earth below you. Through the floor, down into the soil, maybe connecting to this beautiful river that's beside us. Maybe there's roots going down from your feet, from your seat, into the earth. Maybe you visualize your feet in sand or soil or mud, whatever is coming forward. And just connect to that beautiful yin energy of Mother Earth. Just take a few breaths, breathing in that energy. As you welcome that energy, maybe begin to see a pool in the space behind your navel. This beautiful, peaceful energy of the earth. Maybe there's light connected to it. Maybe there's a sensation, a texture, a smell, a taste. Maybe it's just the awareness that the earth is pooling within your very being. And just notice, maybe bringing some gratitude, or whatever else might be coming forward. Allowing this energy to root you, connect you, hold you right here, right now. There's nothing you have to do, no one you have to be. You just are. Held by the earth. And the beautiful thing is that we are always held by the earth. There's never a time we're not. We just don't always take the time to remember. So this is just a remembering, a calling back. Remembering who we are and where we come from. The earth. So with this awareness, you could stay right here the whole time, just focusing on that energy connected in the space behind your navel. But if you'd like, you could allow some of that energy to move up. Maybe it's light, maybe it's sensation, and move up into the center of your torso, your heart center. Just allow that energy to pool there, to fill you up. And from here, just allow it to flow throughout your whole body, to the tips of your fingers, the bottoms of your toes, the top of your head, up and down your spine, up and down your legs, your neck, your head, just allowing yourself to be filled with this beautiful yin energy of Mother Earth. And we just ask for healing, and so just allow healing to flow here, to flow to all the parts of who you are, physically, emotionally, spiritually, and letting anything go that no longer serves. Letting it go back to the universe, maybe like butterflies, like smoke or mist. Or maybe it goes back down into the earth, letting her hold you and absorb it and repurpose it into beautiful flowers. Just allowing yourself to be filled and supported and held. And maybe right here in the center of your chest, you visualize a beautiful sunflower, just filling up your whole chest, sprouting from within you and sending out beautiful vibrations of light and love out to the world around you, not depleting you in any way, but just like a sunflower that's rooted in the earth and pulls those nutrients and then transfers them to the world around them through beauty and smell and pollen and all the things. So too we are that sunflower that sends out that beautiful, loving energy to the world around us. Allowing it to flow to those that we love, to those that we don't know, just to those that need it. And again, the beautiful thing is that this is always happening. As we are rooted and connected, we are doing this all the time. We just don't always take the time to notice. And so even as we move our awareness on, knowing that this continues to bless the people around us, the earth around us, the animals, the plants, in community. So bringing this awareness back to our heart center and allowing this awareness to come up to the top of our head, just filling up the space behind our forehead and the top of our head. And maybe there's a visualization of a beam of light flowing back to the universe, back to source, back to the divine, to God, to whatever it is that's coming forward for you. Just a reminder that we are always connected to source. And allowing that light to flow through our whole being, down our spine, and into the earth below us. This beautiful channel. We are the vessel. Allowing it to flow up and down, filling our whole being. And when you're ready, bringing your awareness back to the space behind your forehead. And just a breath here. Bringing this awareness down to our heart center, the middle of our torso, where that sunflower is, and a breath here. And then bringing this awareness down to the space behind our navel, and allowing this light to just flow here, filling us up, swirling this beautiful energy of the earth. And then if you'd like, you could tuck that light deep in behind your navel. This reminder that we are always connected to the earth, always connected to source, that we are one with the universe. That beautiful reminder, tucking that deep in behind our navel, that knowing that we can access in those moments when it feels like we can't take the next step and we don't know where to turn. We can tap back into that beautiful connection that we always have. And just take a breath. And when you are ready, we'll begin to come back to this space. Begin to maybe open your eyes. You could rub your hands together, or maybe rubbing in between your fingers. You could rub your face, feeling the palms of your hand on your skin. Maybe rubbing your fingers along your scalp. Just bringing ourselves back to this space, and then rubbing our ears top to bottom. Wonderful. Thank you all. Hi, my name is Seth. Thank you for asking me to speak today. I have the opportunity, I do different things in this community and different things within, I have a lot of things that I like to be connected to and like to do, but two of the things that I do in this community are, one, I am the director of the Damiano Center. So I work with people experiencing poverty and homelessness and housing insecurity and mental health and addiction and all sorts of things. And I get to have the privilege to be there every day with them and walk alongside this beautiful journey that they're on and that we're all on, and get to support each other and get to be supported even as I work. And that's a beautiful thing. And then the other thing, one of the other things I do is I'm connected at Svalya Whole Being, and I am a Qigong instructor, and I'm a yoga instructor, and I teach in the yoga teacher training program there. So I get to be connected in those ways too. And one of the things that I teach in that yoga teacher training program is a nature study, which is a pretty cool thing to be able to teach. And part of the reason I love teaching that or guiding that is because I get to, well, I don't have to say much. Nature is a very beautiful teacher, and she teaches us all kinds of things all the time. We just have to open our ears and listen. So I just kind of get out of the way. I set up the framework and get out of the way, basically. But the things that I've kind of noticed as I've been reflecting on those two things that I do is that I find that my role has been to find grounding through the spirituality of connected to the earth around us, through doing that within my work and providing grounding for a lot of people that maybe don't have a lot of grounding, because on a very practical level, if you don't have a place that you know is yours that's safe to stay, everything else is thrown off. Everything. And even if you have a pretty great spot in nature that is secure-ish, you never know if it's going to be there the next day, and you don't know if someone's going to steal that from you. And so I find that one of my roles is to show up and to help provide grounding through consistency, services, things that people can rely on, like meals and like clothes and basic needs, to know that at least that's one thing that somebody doesn't have to think about. And that's really, really important. And I get to do that, and I found that that's what I need in my own life. Like, we're all humans, everybody's the same. Like, we all need the same things. There's nothing different about somebody who's a millionaire and somebody who's homeless, except for a few things. Not a lot, actually. Having the same emotions, the same needs, the same wants, the same desires, the same, every basic need, all of it's the same. It's just one person had a little bit more privilege than another. Started off on the right foot because of the people that came before them that they had nothing to do with. And so I find, for me, as I have been growing in my spirituality and growing in my understanding of who I am and how I exist in the world, nature has been the thing for me. I grew up in another tradition and slowly have I have unweaved myself from that tradition, but it's still deep within my bones. The tradition I grew up in is never going to not be a part of me. I mean, it's just core to who I am, but it's not what I'm committed to now. But in every religion, as I have found, there's these beautiful essences of nature and spirituality and connection to the earth. It's everywhere. And no matter what tradition you look in, it's there. And so I find that as I have explored showing up in these ways and serving in the way that I do at my work and serving the way I do at Swalia and serving just in this community, the thing that has come forward for me is I need to connect to my body. Like, I need to know what this is and what's happening here and who he is, who my body is. But you start going there pretty quickly, and then you start realizing that, oh, my body is not just connected. It's not just this solo thing that's out here for me. Like, I'm very much connected to the earth around me. My body is very affected by the moon cycle. It's very affected by the way that the stars move. It's very affected by the pesticides that are around me, or the lack thereof, or the trees that are around me, or the lack thereof, or the food that I eat, that and the way that it's raised, and the treatment of the animals that I choose to eat and put in my body. Like, all those have energies and all those are affected. And so there's never a time where I am not connected to nature at all. Like, in fact, I can delude myself to think that I'm not, but there's not one aspect of my life that's not. And so my journey has been to unpack that, to figure that out, to recognize who I am and how I am connected to all those things. And the stories that have been told to me through religion, through patriarchy, through consumerism, through all the different things, capitalism, and to try and remember and to go back and to reconnect to maybe some more traditional ways that that we've always kind of connected. And I was going to read this at the beginning because it says to read a sacred text, but this is a great time to put this in. So this is a statement by D.H. Lawrence, and it gets at what I'm saying. Oh, what a catastrophe! What a maiming of love when it was made personal, merely personal feeling, taken away from the rising and the setting sun, and cut off from the magic connection of the solstice and the equinox. This is what is the matter with us. We are bleeding at the roots because we are cut off from the earth and the sun and the stars. And love is a grinning mockery because, poor blossom, we plucked it from its stem of the tree of life and expected it to keep on blooming in our civilized vase on the table. And so for me, I'm saying, in what ways am I bastardizing this beautiful thing that we all have connection to, and pulling that and trying to make it this whitewashed or whatever type of thing that isn't real? And so my exploration has taken me on a lot of things, but it's really been in connection again to that, those core beams, the core pieces of who I am. It's caused me to listen and not necessarily say what I think all the time. It's allowed me to really unpack within myself all the ways that I exude patriarchy and privilege and racism and all the isms, capitalism, everything, consumerism, and to try and like say, is there another way of showing up in this world? Is there another way of being? And we can throw our hands up and say, we live in this society, there's no way we can do that. And sure, we could do that, we could say that, but like, that's not, I mean, I'm also kind of an optimist, and I want to have hope that we can do something different. We have to do something different because this isn't working. And our bodies know it, our systems know it. And for me, nature has all the wisdom. And what nature teaches me is going to be different than what nature teaches you, and that's a beautiful thing because we're all organisms of this nature. So just like one flower looks a whole lot different than another flower because of the soil around it and the different things around it, the way the light hits it and how it falls in the shade or the not shade or what river is nearby, like all that affects that. And so we're all just these beautiful flowers that look a little different and show up a little bit different and have a different unique things to it. And so I think that's a great thing because we don't all want to look the same. We don't want all the flowers to look the same. It's their difference. That's the uniqueness. And another thing that I've been doing is recognizing all, I present as he, him. I mean, I'm he, him. I identify as he, him. But there's a lot of beautiful feminine parts of myself. We live in this duality that's like feminine, masculine, like all these different things. And I practice Qigong, and we kind of exist in those yin yang binaries as well. And nature doesn't really necessarily do that. And so I'm kind of just like trying to figure out those within myself too. And these, finding those balance and allowing for those feminine aspects of myself, these beautiful earth energy, yin energies of Mother Nature to flow within me as well. And begin to trust my intuition, because my intuition is just the earth speaking through me and tapping into these beautiful things that I can't cognitively necessarily think of, but my gut knows. And so those for me are so important and so helpful, and I can't, and learning that dance of like, what's my intuition and what's not? Am I just hungry? You know, there's a lot of like things there too, you know, and it's just a fun dance, and it's a beautiful way to like figure that all out. And then to step more into love, like that was saying, this is all about love. It's all about like allowing for the love that's in the universe to flow through us. Now, I'm not saying that, you know, nature's just this lovely place. I mean, it's brutal too. I just wrote a poem about that. Actually, I'll read that poem. I wrote a poem called Eden a couple weeks ago. In the garden, there was no peace. It was brutal and chaotic and eat or be eaten, just like now. But unlike now, there was equanimity, balance, purpose. Everything was alive to be alive and to further life. Now things live to die, to be consumed, to be discarded. And that is a brutality which makes chaos feel like paradise. And so with that, this is all about finding that balance. And balance isn't always pretty. And balance isn't always what we think it's going to be. But it's being able to find that dance between, and finding that within ourselves, because that's the only place we can find it. That balance of how does all those elements that are working around me, acknowledging all those things that are working around me, acknowledging all of the ways that my body interacts with the soil and with the moon and with the sun and the season and the food that I eat and my dog and all the things. and finding that balance with that in the midst of authoritarianism, racism, capitalism, patriarchy, all of the isms, and finding that balance of fight and rest, engagement and disengagement, stepping forward here and not here, that overwhelm, that fighting the overwhelm and the giving up, and then also this is where I put all my energy. And so that's what this all is, and it's different for each one of us. But nature gives us an example of that and shows us that, like, when the system is working and all the different parts of the ecosystem are working, it's all comes into a balance. And so for me, that's been my journey with all of that. And there's one aspect of this, and I don't 100% agree with this, but I was just having a conversation with somebody about some South American indigenous ways of existing and recognizing cosmology and the way that the world works. And with that tradition, they look at the masculine and the feminine. The masculine is the energy, not necessarily male, but the masculine is the energy that holds the form, and the feminine is the creation and the creativity. And so we need the form to kind of give us our path, and that's where the creation can happen. Because if we don't have the form, then creation is just like, we don't have anywhere that's keeping us on track. And if we just have the form, there's no creation. And so it's this beautiful dance of recognizing within myself, like, what's my path? What's my particular form that I'm called to in this lifetime? Might be different than the last lifetime, but this lifetime, what's that form for me? And then how can my creativity come forward? How can I flourish? How can that look? What flower am I in this lifetime? And so that's the journey. That's what we're doing here. And that's what I'm doing. That's what I've been called to. So that's kind of how that's showing up for me. I do have one more beautiful quote. When I was talking about that overwhelm of, like, how do we do something new? How do we do something that's unique to this iteration, this existing in a patriarchal society, an authoritarian society, a society that's largely driven by white males and capitalism and all the things? Are there other things out there? And it's overwhelming to think about, like, how do I do something different? Like, what does that even look like? Where do we even start? And I do think it starts right here. It starts with interactions with each other, supporting each other, holding each other, speaking truth to each other, and being called out by each other in a safe way. I think that all those things are so important. And each of us doing our own work to say, yeah, you're right, I was wrong. All admitting where we fail and those kind of things, and learning from that rather than being defensive. And it's not always pretty, and it's not always like all roses either. And we don't see that in nature either. I mean, it's like, it's a lot, evolution is just a lot of figuring it out. And the stuff that we see is the one thing that made it through in the midst of a bunch of failures that didn't make it and died brutally. I mean, it's really kind of that eat or you be eaten too, but there's a beauty in the balance, in the stepping back in the bigger picture to say, oh, we're all part of something bigger than just us. And so Robin Wall Kimmerer, she's a Native woman in the, I'm forgetting her tribe, but it's the one I grew up with in Michigan. But anyway, that's not coming forward. But her newest book is Serviceberry. And she kind of talks about this a little bit in this book. And so I want to kind of end with this quote from her. There's no meritocracy or earning of sustenance. Mothers do not sell their milk to their babies. It is a pure gift so that life can continue. The currency of this economy is the flow of gratitude, the flow of love, literally in support of life. By analogy, can the sustenance from the breast of Mother Earth be understood as a maternal gift economy? These feminist thinkers argue that giving and taking in this sense are a fundamental way of caring for each other. Without, I can't read my own handwriting. Without basically the interaction of the states or the markets. Scholars like Mishi Cashlin are exploring how the philosophy and practice of maternal gift economy might move social organizations towards justice and sustainability. If the sun is the source of flow in the economy of nature, what is the sun of a human gift economy? The source that constantly replenishes the flow of gifts. Maybe it is love. And so that's what we're called to. If we truly begin to understand what love looks like, and that is a journey, and it changes, and it's tough, and it hurts, and all the things. But if we can truly begin to understand that, and then we live that out, maybe we can change some of this stuff. That's what I have.
Can I get a couple of people to bring forth the baskets, please? And Carol, let's have a little music on the side. Do you want to say a prayer? Oh, okay. Do you want to say a prayer too?
In gratitude, we thank you for these gifts that have been given freely, that they go out and service our community many folds over. Thank you.
Yeah. And do you have some spirit readings? You want to take that with you?
Yeah. So good morning. Hello. Good morning. So as I was meditating and praying and asking if there was messages today, what appeared in the front was a group of Native American dancers, and they were dancing and they were dancing and they were dancing, and they were creating a path for the person who greeted me today, and I asked what their name was, and he said to call him the chief of all. And what he said and what he told me is, as we're going into the time of harvest, that for their culture, for him, what he was saying is, there is no death, that in death comes life. And so he showed me the great buffalo, and how when they would hunt the buffalo fed them, clothed them. They used parts of the buffalo, to regenerate, to fertilize. And so he said, we always see the circle of life, death, life, death. It's a circle. And so he handed me an acorn. And the acorn broke apart and grew into a huge, oak tree. That's what they grow into, correct? And on top was a person sitting in the traditional meditation pose that we think of. And he said, watch what happens. So I watched. And as that person was meditating, all their old beliefs, whatever it is they were releasing, right? That death of what was in them came down to fertilize that tree and to come back up. And he said, as we're going forward at this time, think of it as a time of renewal, right? As we're out harvesting, as we're enjoying the colors, think about, oh, I'm sad that we're losing this, but what are we gaining on the other side? There's always the yin yang, the two. We're losing this, but we're gaining this. So we thank him for coming today.
At this time, let's sing our second hymn, which is
346, I'm ready for a miracle.
I'm Ready for a Miracle, number 346.
I need a miracle here. Come on, I'm sorry.
Come on.
You want to come up and sing, please?
From
I
the top,
knew you were
from the
fine.
top, from the top.
That was the last. Yeah, man, do it.
I'm ready for a miracle, ready for a miracle, ready for a miracle someday. I've got my mind to tune for one, ready to experience one, ready for a miracle today. My mind is open, ready to receive it. My heart is open, open all the way. I do accept a miracle, do accept a miracle. I do accept a miracle today. I do accept a miracle, do accept a miracle. I do accept a miracle today.
Yeah, all right.
Michael, safe.
Thank you. Let's say our church affirmation, which is on the white card. We totally accept the belief that God is in charge of the affairs and direction of Lake Superior Interfaith Community Church. As our thoughts of trust and joyful anticipation join in harmony with the thoughts of all the members of this fellowship, we attract the right ministerial leadership and people to our spiritual community, and we are grateful. All right, let's have a closing prayer, and while he's saying our closing prayer, let's get in our circle.
So 2 quick blessings are coming forward. First is a Pueblo blessing. Hold on to what is good, even if it is a handful of earth. Hold on to what you believe, even if it is a tree which stands alone. Hold on to what you must do, even if it is a long way from here. Hold on to life, even if it is easier letting go. Hold on to my hand, even when I have gone away from you. And then this is a blessing by Jaya John. May your heartbeat be pure today. May you breathe like sky. May your spirit be filled with good intentions. May your behavior please the sacred prayers of your ancestors. May you walk in beauty's orchard. May you pick and eat its sweetest fruit. May your energy feel good to children, plants, and animals. May the word safe be used with your name. May you weave healthy relations. May the poetry of your soul sing holy remembrance. May your language be like wildflowers and sweeten this world. May you live this day as medicine for all living things. This is my sunrise prayer for you.
Amen. Go on in. Thank you so much.